What is going on, Redskins fans? This is JD coming at you another video from Redskins Rant, Held to the Redskins. Before I get started, please like, share, and subscribe. I think I made a video last week. I didn't post it. If I didn't, I apologize. I've been very busy last 2 weeks. And it's going to be getting busier with the holidays coming up. I work in AT&T retail, so it's going to be a busy couple weeks. But I'm going to try my best to get these videos out. So last night, the Washington Redskins played the Vikings. We lost 19-9. Here's what I'm going to say about one aspect of the game. The defense is actually starting to turn out to be a pretty decent defense. If our defense played like this the first few games, we would probably have a couple more wins on our belt. We'd have beat the Eagles. We'd have probably been a better game against the Cowboys. We could have beat the Bears. Okay. If our defense was playing like this all season, we'd be fine. We held the best team in the NFC, or the NFC. Weather could be a contributing factor, honestly, but the best team in the NFC, the 49ers, to 9 points. Last night, we held one of the better teams, not the best, but one of the better teams from a very tough division. The Vikings held them to 19, and we didn't give up passing touchdown. I think we just did a very good job of. I mean, yeah, they got a lot of rushing yards, but they didn't really dominate us up front the way that it kind of people are gonna think. So just with that in mind, I want to commend the defense. They've played very well last few weeks, especially the front end. And I also want to say the back end of the defense did pretty well. Now they didn't have Thielen last night, but the last 2 weeks itself, the defense has done pretty well. And there's been some good halves of football from the defense. The first half against the Eagles was good until they started giving up touchdowns for 50 yards. The first half against the Cowboys was good. The second half against the Bears basically gave up no points. And the offense gave up like 4 turnovers in the first half, so that didn't help. And then if we're talking about, let's say the Patriots, we held them to 12 in the first half. And then like 49ers, we held them, I think it was 0 or 3. It might have been 3. But we held them, and then, I think it was 0 because it was tied at the half, I think. So we held them, and then like last night we held, first half we gave up 6, I think. We gave up, it was 13-6 at the half, so we gave up a touchdown, but that was in the first half. In the second half, we held them to a field goal, or 2 field goals, so, and I'm actually pissed off. They had a chance to get another field goal. I have Dan Bailey in fantasy football, and I'm like, oh great, my kicker's going to get like almost 20 points if they just kick this field goal, but instead they fucking run it. It was kind of bullshit. But I'm like, they just knew I had them on my fantasy league team. So anyway, so that being said, I want to commend the defense. The defense done a lot better last couple weeks. They've proven over the course of this year that they can put together some good football. They can run, stop. They can get to the quarterback. They can stop the pass. The problem is, they just can't do it for an entire game, or at least long enough for us to sustain and win. Now, here's the real problem with our team right now is our offense. Offensive line, I didn't think did horrible last night. I thought they got some good push on the run game. I actually didn't think Case Keenum was doing bad either. Other than the fumble, I thought Case Keenum was doing pretty well. He was finding Terry McLaurin. He was finding Paul Richardson. He was finding the tight end. He was finding guys open. And then we had some short passing game to our running backs that worked really well. Other than his fumble, other than the fumble, there really wasn't much else I can say bad about Case Keenum. I think he has small hands. I'm starting to think that because he's fumbled I think 5 times this year with 3 for turnovers. And last week when we played in the rain, it looked like he couldn't grip the ball, so we had to shot put passes. It was what it felt like. So I don't want to say Case Keenum he's not a world beater. I'm not going to sit here and say Case Keenum's the greatest. I think if he had bigger hands, it would make him a much better quarterback. Because the defender got a finger on that ball, he fumbled it, and we were in scoring range. So at the very least, we got a field goal out of that. So I think that was a factor. But I think the turning point in the game, I hate to jump on this so quick, especially so quick and so early in this young man's career. But I don't think Haskins is it. This kid has attempted 22 passes, and in 22 passes, he has 4 interceptions already. 4 interceptions in 22 passes. That is ungodly, unheard of, whatever you want to call it. He's played 2 halves of football. And he's attempted 22 passes. And he's thrown 4 turnovers. 4 interceptions. He might have a fumble mixed in there somewhere. That is god-awful. God-awful. And they're not even like, it's not even like they're just horrible reads. It's just bad throws. The one that last night was a bad throw. It was a bad throw. He has no, I don't know if he's not catching on. I don't know if he just doesn't care. Maybe he's just not good. Maybe because the wide receivers aren't wide open like they were in college, he can't throw to people. I saw him in preseason. I saw glimpses. Like, there's definitely something in the cupboard here. It's not like the cupboard's bare and he's just bad. Of all of our rookies, Dwayne Haskins is the worst. I can go through every one of our rookies that we drafted. All the guys we drafted. He is by far the worst. And he drafted him first. Montez Sweat's good. Jimmy Moreland's probably our best rookie. Holcomb is a good rookie. Wes Martin, Pierce Brocker. All of them are better than him. Harmon, McLaurin. Every one of them are better than that quarterback. We wasted a draft pick this year. I'm sorry. I know he had a lot of hype. I know he had a lot of upside and this, that, and the other. But he clearly is not ready for the NFL. He clearly is not good enough to start. He should start. Because it's actually smart. I said, I said in the video, I don't think I posted. I responded to someone on Facebook that messaged in the Redskins group. Like, they should start him after the bye week. And I was like, no, actually starting him the second half of this game, if the game's getting out of hand, is the smartest thing to do. Here's why. He has his performance. So you have half a bye, half a weekend. You have a weekend, basically. So basically, like, the way I view personally, if I was a coach, the playing on a Thursday night, is you have a mini bye. You have a bye week on where you have, like, a whole weekend. You have 10 days off. So you have 3 days where you can kind of go over what you did wrong and another 10 days to prepare. So starting him now is actually pretty smart because you have 10 days to, kind of go over what he did really bad. It's a lot to go over. I mean, he didn't throw that much last night, but he didn't do very well either. He had McLaurin, by the way, oh my God. He had McLaurin wide open for a touchdown. But he made a good pass to the tight end, so I'm not going to take that away from him. But he had McLaurin streaking down the field for a touchdown. That would have been a game changer. And here's why, I'll get back to Haskins in a second. Here's why it's so detrimental. Our defense just did a 4th down stop. On the 35, at the very least, if he just runs for like 3 yards or hands the ball off there, we get a field goal and we're within 4 points. And they don't go they get a field goal after that, after our turnover. At the very least, we get points out of it, and it's still a close game. The problem is our defense just stuck their hand in the dirt and got a big defensive stop for us. On a 4th and 1, got a stop, defensive hold, or defensive stop, put up the stone wall, stop them from converting, stop Kirk from converting. And what does Kurt Haskins do? 2 plays later, interception. The defense did all that work. They played their asses off, and then the quarterback gives it right back to them. It's the same shit we've been dealing with the last few years with a different quarterback, and it's just going back to this quarterback. So that's the biggest part of it for me. That just frustrates me to hell and back. Is why the fuck if we just I'm not getting into it because it has nothing to do with coaching. The play call wasn't bad. The guy was open. He's got to make a good pass, and he's playing like a fucking rookie. He's playing like a guy who's an undrafted rookie is what he's playing like. Exactly what he's playing like right now. Like he doesn't belong. And I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't belong, but right now he's looking like a complete bust. And people wanted to start him again the season this year. I mean, I'm one of them. I said, if you're going to draft that high, you might as well start him. I totally get why they didn't start him. He is not ready. He's not good enough to play right now. He is not a good enough football player right now to be starting in the NFL. He's going to have to now, and I'm going to get back to now why I said, and I wish I'd posted this, so I did say this, and I'll try to find the Facebook post, and I'll make a video later this week about it. Someone said the best time to start Haskins is after the bye week, and I said no, the best time to start Haskins is either this week, second half of this week, which is what happened, or next week. Here's why. Okay, so if you start him next week, you have a game and you have a bye week. So that means you have a week where you can go over what he did wrong and correct it. Then you have a week to prepare. So you won't get that if he starts any other week. Now you kind of get that this week. You have basically you have 3 to 4 days from now until when you start preparing, which is like Tuesday, for, I think it's the Jets. I think it's the Jets or Bills. Jets or Bills. It's one of those two. I want to say Jets. I'm going to lean towards Jets. Yeah, from now until then to prepare for the Jets. No, I think it is Bills. It's the Bills. So yeah, from now until like Monday or Tuesday to, go over with him what he did wrong and try to fix what's broken. And then you have from like Tuesday on to prepare for the Bills. And he's going to need it because Bills are a really good defense, and they're going to lure him into doing stupid things and so on and so forth. So it's going to happen. So that's why it's good. And then following the mini bye, which is what this week is the mini bye, you have a bye week. So let's say he goes out and he does pretty good, but he doesn't do anything great, but he doesn't do anything bad. Now we have a whole week where they can go over what he did wrong and try to fix what he did, his coverage read, his reads, so on and so forth. Then they have a week to prepare for the next game, which is the Jets. That's why I think starting him this half was smart, but he just didn't play well. Is because you have the opportunity to. I still think we need to start the rest of the season. This season is a foregone conclusion. So now we need to figure out what we have. Is Haskins for real? Is there like, if we put him in like starting position and he actually starts doing well, what do we do with our first round draft pick? So on and so forth. That's why you need to do this. It has nothing to do with like we need to play him so he gets the stats and yada yada. We need to find out what we have. We're gonna have a high draft pick. We literally could have like the 3rd overall pick this year, and there's like 3 quarterbacks right now that are going to be really high up there. You got Jalen Hurts, you have Trevor Lawrence, you have Tua, which I don't like Tua personally. I think that's a bust waiting to happen. I think it's another Haskins right there, just surrounded by talent. You have the quarterback from Oregon. I think I wouldn't mind having him, but I think the best one in my opinion is Trevor Lawrence. That's my personal opinion, but I wouldn't mind Jalen Hurts either. Quarterbacks that have come out of Oklahoma have actually been pretty good, but I would like a more standard size quarterback. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that tall. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't looked it up before I did this video. I'm just kind of talking about it right now. I know Trevor Lawrence is 6'2" or 6'3", so he's your prototypical quarterback. And I think we need to have a prototypical quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here and say Haskins is a bust. He's looking like one though. And I'm not saying we need to bail on him now, but we need to play him now so we know what we have, so we know if we need to like move on. Maybe we can trade him. Maybe we can do what the Arizona did and trade away a guy we drafted in the 1st round. Maybe get like a 2nd rounder or 2 for him, and then move on to another team, another guy, so on and so forth. I honestly wish if we just had I'm not gonna lie, I actually like Keenum. I think he does pretty good things. I don't think he tries to do too much. I think he does just enough that we could win if we just had a defense playing well. If we'd have tried to establish the run earlier this season and had Keenum play, I think would have done pretty well. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I do want to get into some other things. So I do want to commend the Redskins on their effort. Everyone was trying. Peterson was trying very hard. You had the whole offensive line was trying. Defense was getting after it. I mean, for a team that it's a foregone conclusion what they're going to be this year and what we're going to be. They're still giving a lot of effort, and I know you don't get points for effort, but in my book, it shows a lot about the character of the team. And Bill Callahan is he's making the games competitive. I'll say that. He's been there for what now? 3 games. Miami is a competitive game. Miami game was competitive. We were in the 49er game. We were in the game last night. Even till we only lost by 10, and we could have easily gotten a field goal if we would have turned the ball over twice. It's 2 field goals, been 15-19, and we could have got the ball back if we just get some stops. Last things I want to talk about is we're coming up on the trade deadline, and I have heard huge rumors, not just one rumor, not just like a random idiot on Facebook posting this, huge rumors that the Browns are going to offer a 1st and a 3rd for Trent Williams. Why the fuck will we not take that right now? It's very clear we're going to suck and we're going to need to load up. Why would we not take... God, I don't understand this for the life of me. Take that deal. We get all of his money off our salary cap. All of it. Like, Bruce Allen is the dumbest motherfucker ever. I swear to God. I could GM with my eyes closed, and my wife could GM better than he could. I swear to God. She knows a little bit about football, but my wife could GM better than he could. He's doing nothing for us. It's obvious he doesn't want to be there. I get it. You don't want to look like you gave in and caved to someone wanting something that you said you weren't going to give them. I get that. That's fine. But guess what? He doesn't want to be here. He's not going to show up and play. We're wasting salary cap we could have spent elsewhere. We're going to waste that same salary cap next year, because if he decides to come back and play, you got to let him play. Unless you're going to cut him, and then you got to owe him all the money anyway. So why not get a couple draft picks for the guy? We can use that to help replace him this year. So let's hypothetically say we don't win any more games, and we got the second worst record, third worst record. Right now we have the third worst because the Bengals and the Dolphins have the worst records. So let's say that happens. Bengals and Dolphins have the worst record. They're 1-2 when we get the third pick. Okay, we get third pick, and we have the best offensive tackle in the history of football is available for us to get. And we can draft him, and then we can spend another first-round pick drafting other guys that we could use. Like, I don't know, let's say a tight end, a good tight end. I don't know, maybe a linebacker. Maybe we replace Norman. And that's another conversation we can have. Why don't we try to trade Norman? We're not going to get anything great for him. We're not going to get like a first-rounder for him or anything. I would settle for a first or a third round. If we can just get a third-round pick for him right now, it's fine. He's not... We give up more yards and touchdowns to him than anyone else. Jimmy Moreland, to me, has been one of the best. Dunbar, he's got all the interceptions from our defense, pretty much all of them. So those two, I think we're solid there with those two. Our safeties, we have one good safety, and two we're rotating through trying to figure out which one's better. And I like the way we're doing it, because Troy Apke, he's shown glimpses that he can do things. He's shown glimpses. Now that we're actually playing him, he's shown some glimpses. And I think playing him all year is a smart idea, because we need to either move on from him, or we need to know what we got to do in the offseason to make him better. Second thing is, Jeremy Reeves was a player that I was really impressed with in preseason, and he's another guy we need to get playing time. Now, I think he might have a injury or concussion right now, so, I mean, we'll see. But Jeremy Reeves was a guy that I actually was real excited about seeing, too. And the fact that we cut him initially, but then we put him on the practice squad. I'm happy to see him out there getting some playing time, because I thought he was pretty good in preseason too. So there's some things we have to replace on this team. Our defensive line is solid. Nothing on the defensive line. We're locked in on that for the next 3 or 4 years. Okay? The only thing I'd say is maybe start looking for Kerrigan's replacement, because he is getting older. I don't think anyone will trade for Kerrigan. I think he's a good player, but I think he's on the upswing, on the downswing of his career. And he might have one good year left after this year. I'd like to see him stay and get the sack record, because he's one of my favorite players. But you gotta be realistic with this. He's not getting any better. He does some things good, so I don't want to take that away from him. But he also, I mean, it is what it is. He's at the downward swing of his career. It's just got to move on. It's got to go a different direction eventually. If there's anyone I say you hang on to, just for the sole purpose that he's been there and he's a guy, it's him. Josh Norman was signed, it was drafted, or it wasn't drafted, he was signed, and he came here and he made a lot of money, but he hasn't really done. For the first few years, his stats didn't look good because no one passed his direction. Now that people are passing his direction, his stats look like garbage. He's given up more touchdowns than any other corner we have. He straight up has. He's given up the most touchdowns of any corner we have. Jimmy Moreland, doesn't matter who it is. He's given up the most. So with that being said, I think that's what the Redskins have to do going forward. Is we gotta get rid. God, please, I'm begging Bruce Allen, fucking get rid of guys that aren't going to be contributing to this team. Okay, so we keep Trent Williams for one more year. Whoop-de-frickin' do. What's he going to do? He'll play one more year and then he'll leave. So why not just free up the salary cap, use that salary cap to pay sheriff, okay? And then we can move forward. God, it's a distraction, and Bruce Allen's is garbage. Like, I'd probably pay it. I'm not gonna say that on the camera. I'm not gonna say that on camera. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not even getting into that. I just wish he was gone. I wish you, like, go do something else. Do something else other than, like, be president of football operations or whatever your fucking position is. For a long time, I didn't understand what people's issues was. I thought the team just, was all injuries. Now I'm starting to see that how bad his moves actually are. How he does nothing. How he has no accountability. When things go wrong, it's no one's fault. And that's exactly what his press conference said. Like, no one's fault. He has a bad vision of what culture is in football. His culture is garbage. So it's just, I can't get too much into it anymore because I'm starting to get frustrated on driving to work. But I can't stand the way he runs the team. I can't stand the way he does things. I can't stand the way the Redskins do things. All you have to do is get rid of the garbage. Get rid of the garbage. The garbage being Trent Williams. He doesn't want to be here. Get rid of him. Fuck him. Get rid of Josh Norman. Josh Norman, I think he wants to be here. I never hear him complain about playing for the Redskins. So I don't want to, say that he thinks the team's garbage or anything, but he's just not good anymore. And we're about to have an expiring contract, and yeah, we're getting the money for it, but we'll see if we can get something else. If we can get a third-round pick to replace him, why not? We're not going to get a compensatory pick because we didn't hang on to a guy. We're not going to get that with Brandon Sheriff. We can franchise Brandon Sheriff, or we can give him a long contract, and the money we're paying Trent Williams, pay Sheriff with. Jesus, I would do so many things with this team right now. It'd make the head spin of all the fans of how much stuff will get done within a week of me being there. I swear to God. That's my video. This is Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. Guys, we love our team, but God, I wish the guys running the there really needs to be a petition where, like, all us Redskin YouTubers could run the team better than who's running the team right now. The owner and the GMs. We legit could run the team better. I don't understand the logic. I don't understand how you sit there and be like, okay, Trent Williams isn't playing. He'll play eventually. I'm not going to play. Okay, well, you'll play eventually. Okay, well, you can trade me to that team, and they're going to give you a first-round pick, which a first-round pick is 5 years at least. If it's a first-round pick and you draft the guy, you get the kid for 5 years. You get 5 years versus 1.5 years with Trent Williams left. I don't understand that. How do you not see that logic and be like, okay, let's just move on then? Norman, if you trade him for a third, you have 2 years out of this next year out of Norman, I think it's it. The rest of the season next year. And all that comes off your books. Norman's like $15 million a year. Williams is like $15 million a year. And if you do that and somehow you're able to get out from under Alex Smith's contract, Jesus Christ, the salary cap we have. It's ridiculous what we can do with that kind of money. It's over $50 million. You know how many positions we can replace with $50 million? Like, seriously, you can replace... I'm not going to get into it. We're also going to lose Colt McCoy. We're going to lose Case Keenum. I'm not worried about either one of those. I think Case would make a solid backup. I like to see him back. I think he's better than Colt McCoy for sure. I don't know why Colt McCoy has been on the team. I know why, because Jay Gruden loved him like a son. Colt McCoy. Colt Gruden is what they should call him. But, okay, this is my video. This is really, I'm in it really this time. My video, like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Redskins Ranter. Other than that, hail to the Redskins. See ya.